Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Rod Building Basics. Today we're talking about labels. Stick around. Okay, we're almost to the end of this rod. One of the last things that we'll do is put on labels. Now, every blank that you buy is going to come with a manufacturer's label, and there's nothing wrong with those. I happen to make my own custom labels. I'll take the manufacturer's information and I'll transfer it over to a style and a font that matches my labels. And then I have my custom labels, and this one actually is getting a name on it. So all labels are basically the same. They're clear with printing on it with the backing. Now the trick is to get the backing off and be able to handle the label without putting fingerprints in the adhesive part behind the clear. So that's where we go now. First thing I'm going to do, because of the way my label maker spaces out my labels, is I'm going to trim this a little shorter. This particular brand of labels has a two-piece paper backing. It's split down the middle. Some of the labels that you're going to get are going to be one piece, but it's the same procedure no matter what. Now, I like to start to get the backing to lift, and I'll just use an X-Acto knife here just to peel the corner up. Like that, just to get it to start separating. If you don't, sometimes they get tricky to get them to start. Okay, now that one has started to separate. I'm going to lay it down as flat as it will go. Your labels are likely to be pretty flat because that's the way they came. Mine came out of my printer this morning, and the printer is on a roll, so it's got a little curve to it. I'll take just regular cellophane tape, and I'm going this longer than the label, and I'm going to pick it up with the cellophane tape. Now I can control the label when I peel the backing off without getting my fingers close to the permanent tape that's staying. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a short piece of tape, and I'm going to put it on the beginning of the backing, and I'm going to start peeling the backing off just like that. Get that out of the way. And then I am putting this label on the top in front of the reel seat. I have it locked down in my power wrapper with the trigger straight down, and now it's a matter of getting it lined up where you want it, getting to touch the rod, and then pressure to the middle of the label, because you want to push the air pockets out from the center where you don't wind up with a bubble. And then the last part of this is to slowly, emphasizing slowly, peel this Scotch tape off of the label. You need to do it pretty flat. You need to do it with slow and steady pressure. If it tears, you can start from the other end and pull the other way, but you really want to do this right the first time. And there it is. The last thing I will do is I have a microfiber cloth here, and I'm just going to make sure the edges and the corners are seated. Okay, there's the first label installed. I have two more to do. I'll do those in a minute. Okay, all the labels are on. The last thing to do is a thin coat of clear over top of the labels. I'll rub them all down Just checking edges and corners just to make sure, because if you don't have them down secure, epoxy may seep up under them and then you can see the edge of the label through the clear. But I've got to do clear over here, second coat of epoxy over the rest of the guide threads. I did, however, at the very end of the last video, if you stayed to the end, you saw it. If you did not, at the very end, I did a quick marbled epoxy ramp here at the front of the reel seat. So that's it for this rod. That's it for this series. I appreciate you guys watching. Next series we're going to start is the Voodoo Kit Rod. That starts next week. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.